And so let's talk about who you serve quickly, and then maybe we can talk about how you serve them. So when I got introduced to you by our friend Amber Vilhauer, shout out to NG Enterprises. Yeah, she was telling me, she's like, if it's your side hustle, maybe the number's 500,000. If you're like a solo entrepreneur, maybe it's 1 million. But there's this founder's dilemma, to reference the book, where eventually the founder, and I run a coaching business as my side hustle. I'm still doing 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week in the mortgage business. But as my side hustle, I have this great coaching program. We have great clients. We have a great product or service that we sell. But as the founder, plus my buddy Chris, who has been the catch-all for technology and marketing and the whole 9 yards, you get to a certain plateau where it's like, all right, well, now we have to bring in some real professionals, right? Can you tell us where the founder hits that ceiling, whether it be, revenue or time, or maybe some business dilemma where they start looking for somebody like you? It's like, hey, I've gotten it this far. I'm self-aware enough to know that I can't get it to the next level myself. I've got to find somebody like a Susan to help me, get some professional help. I don't need a coach. I work really hard. I'm motivated. I love my product, but just in building the business, I'm a little lost because I'm stuck at X. What does that X usually end up being, where people have to look to people like you to serve them?
That's a great question, Scott. And so we actually see that there's some very interesting demarcations. If you're under $1 million, if you're making $250,000 to $750,000 annual in revenue, you definitely want somebody on your team. But if you are making $250,000, you probably can't afford to have somebody on your team. But sometimes you have those strategic questions and you just need that go-to.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? That mark in between the 250 and 750,000 is fraught with so many different challenges for founders. They're looking at product market fit. What's the best way to attract and retain my customers, my clients? How do I serve them best? There's only so many hours in a week. Is this a side hustle? Is it really a full-time thing? I don't know yet. Once they hit 800,000 in annual revenue, between 800,000 and 1.2, you've figured out your product market fit. You've figured out how your clients come into you, who you best serve. Usually you've got some systems in place, but now things are starting to break down because there's only so many hours. You are either going to break through and grow, if that's your true desire. Not everybody's desire is growth. Or you're going to scale back, right? It's the E-Myth. We see it every single day.
Can you explain, for those that aren't familiar or never read the book, The E-Myth, which is like required reading for anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur, can you explain to people what the E-Myth is?
The E-Myth talks about the journey of that solopreneur who's great and having a skill set. So they talk about plumbers and electricians and whatnot as an easy way to think about this. They grow a business because they've got a skill set. They know what they need to do. Now they're growing the business. They might be bringing on a few team members to deal with the extra clients because they've done a great job. Excellent. But you get to a point where you are no longer able to scale that business because you're trading time for money. How do you change the business? What is the glass ceiling that you need to break through? And so you either break through and you become the owner, the CEO, the founder of the business, or you usually hit the glass ceiling and you go back down. And now you're back to being the technician again.
Yeah.
So you're the operator in the business.